Oh shit. My bad, Shark. I was trying to put you on there. Hey, I'm trying to put you on the big screen, my guy. Welcome to another show, man. NBA Talk with J Money and the Shark, man. We got people in the chat requesting the Shark be on the big screen while the intro. So I'm just trying to get that right. We'll get it next time, my guy. But hey, welcome to the show. It's Sunday. We're trying to get some cash, man. My guy got the fly hat on. What's up with you, Shark? Everything cool with you?
Absolutely. Beautiful day, December 19th, 2021. A huge NFL card, too. We're just looking at that. A little off-the-record commentary there. One of the most ridiculous cards I've looked at in some time with so many lines over 9 points. I feel like I'm looking at college football. I was looking at it. It's usually between 2, 5, and 6, 9, 10, 11 and a half, 12 and a half. It's going to be a tough cap today. But fortunately, we're talking about NBA basketball on a beautiful, beautiful 7-point sharp Sunday here, Jay. What's going on today, brother?
Man, everything is chilling, man. Everything is good. Obviously a lot going on in the NBA. There's a lot of guys. There's probably like up to 60 guys in health and safety protocols now, guys. So I always say try to get as much info as possible before you bet in your games. Obviously, it's real money we put on these games. We're never trying to lose money, right? The books, that's all they like to do is take your money. So I just say try to be more most educated. I couldn't talk anyone out of really just like staying away from things right now. Too. It's just a lot of shit up in the air, man. But let's go to it, Shark. Let's go straight to Detroit, man. We saw business here, man. Let's go straight to Detroit here. 14-game losing streak here. These guys are 4-24 on the season. The absolute worst team in the league. They did have the number 1 pick, my guys. Now you got the Heat here. They're laying 7 points on the road. This is the last game of a 4-game road trip. I'm not looking to take the Heat here. I love this Heat squad, but I'm not looking to take them here. Obviously not a full squad. Hero is a big injury here. It's Pistons or nothing for me here, Shark.
Yeah, this is a tough game. Obviously, you go back to the previous matchup, 192 Miami on a 10.5. So the line is plummeting here. It opened up at -5. But I talk about this all the time. Even though it is a revenge game outright for Detroit, it's an ATS revenge game for Miami. And sometimes when the line comes down just enough, even though it is short and showing that transparency we like, it does reverse to that dispersion point where the other team does cover. And you look at what's going on here with Detroit. I've said this all year. Detroit just gives away games in the fourth quarter. They're competitive for 3, and then they just absolutely cliff that. And we talk about this all the time. And they could actually be consciously saying, we don't want to win games. So, because it just doesn't make sense to be actually, right there against legitimately good teams, too. And then just give it away. I mean, Brooklyn Nets coming to mind off the top of my head last weekend. But I mean, I just think you could see that again. Obviously, no Jimmy Butler or Bam Adebayo, but these backups could turn up. But it's just the ultimate no play. It really could go either way here.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Last game of a 4-game road trip for the Heat in this one. I'm not looking to lay the 7 points. It looks easy. It's up to 7.5 now. So, I mean, I can't tell them what to do with their money. But for me personally, the Pistons, the only way I can play this game, they are the worst team in the NBA, but it could still possibly make some money. It's nothing that I'm looking to bet. But it is Pistons or nothing for me. Let's go to the streets of Memphis here, my guys. We're going to the barbecue spot. We got the Grizzlies open up at 4.5. It's up to 5.5 here, guys. If you like this one, you just wait until the last minute for tip-off. This one will just keep going up if you ask me. Obviously, all the money piling in on the Grizzlies. It's tough to bet against them right now, right? The Blazers, they're heading out on the road. Only 1-11 on the road. At some point, it will flip. Little revenge game for the Blazers here, Shark. What are we doing?
Yeah, first official play of the day. Portland Trail Blazers on the road, plus 5.5, 1 unit. A lot going on here. And I mean, you said it. You get an immediate revenge game. We've been talking about this. The environment is going to shift for Portland. This is a playoff team that lost 7 in a row. And we had a lot of those correctly. And now we know when to buy. And a really specific thing that I think you have to look at here, Memphis has won 5 games in a row. They come home here off a mini trip. The last time they came home off a mini trip, they played Dallas. They had just beaten Dallas on the road 2 games prior. We had that correctly with Dallas. One of the only games Memphis has not covered without Ja Morant. This is the same exact thing. 2 games removed from a road cover and outright win at Portland, which we had correctly there. They come home off this little mini trip. They get a revenge spot. And
my God, Shark, he'll be back. He'll be Give us a few seconds, my guys. We'll be back. I dig what he's saying though. This same spot, the Grizzlies already lost. You back now, Shark. Finish him off.
Yeah, my fault. Or excuse me, Internet, Interpol, CIA, non-winning. But no, but
That
anyway,
mean we finna cash.
last year, Memphis did beat them on the road twice. And then Portland came in there 2 games later and blew them out at home, 130 to 108, I believe. Just an absolute track meet blowout. I think you're going to get a great look here. I think the line number's all over it. It has mattered this year. Portland beat them by 20 plus at home on a -3. Then it moved to Memphis -3. Now it moves shortly up where it should be up to 6.5, 7. It's short for a reason. I think Portland wins the game tonight. I think it's very similar to what Dallas did in a revenge game going back to the last game that Memphis did lose. So plus 5.5, 1 unit official.
I like it, my guy. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. I wouldn't be. I'd be sprinkling a little bit on the Blazers here on the money line here. I know it's tough to go against the Grizzlies, especially at the house. They're a rocking crowd, but it's a tough spot for them before they head back out on the road for Christmas. So it's not their heads could possibly not be into this game, guys. They play the Thunder tomorrow. Just an uninspiring 2-game slate. They feel like they probably already beat these teams. So psychologically, they're probably coming in here not necessarily playing their best game, but we know the Grizzlies lately, these motherfuckers just turn it on at some point. But it's Blazers or nothing for me in this one. I like it. I'll probably be waiting to the last minute. Probably get a 6 in this one, man. Everyone's all over the Grizzlies in this one. Let's go to the streets of Sacramento, my guys. We're heading out west to Cali. Oh, not a late night game, though. You dig what I'm saying? And I think that's worth mentioning because I always like to say to teams like middle of the road or East Coast teams playing out west when they're playing late games, when you get the weekend games, they're not necessarily as late. So it's a little bit more on their time slide here. You got the Spurs laying points. The Kings obviously still got some COVID ambiguity over here, Shark. What are we doing in this one?
Yeah, we're looking at the buy hat is engaged on a suddenly not so casual December 19th, 2021. And what you're looking at here, again, 6 p.m., 3 p.m. Pacific. But you look at what Sacramento is doing here. I think you can go right back to the previous game. They were in a revenge game against Memphis. They had gotten hammered on the road at Memphis. The line came up to Memphis where it should have come towards Sacramento. COVID ambiguity is real, and Memphis did hammer them by 19 points. And I think you look at what the Spurs are doing here. The Spurs hammered them at home by 20, I believe 136 to 117 at a -1. And now this opened up at 3. Again, it should come in at Sac -2. Particularly with San Antonio off a very impressive win at Utah in the opener of a little mini trip here. But that's the next point. If you actually go back to the last time the Spurs were on the West Coast, they did actually back up an outright win at Portland with an outright win at Golden State and then a cover at Phoenix. So I think San Antonio is not the type of team here that's going to just let down because they just beat Utah. I think they back up success with success. I think they match up well here. And I think trusting the line dynamic where it's moving up in the revenge game tells a great story here, crossed with what they just did Sacramento against Memphis. 1 unit play, -4, San Antonio.
I like it, my guy. I like it. One thing, obviously, the line is moving because there's no De'Aaron Fox and Davion Mitchell, but obviously the line is moved because it matters there. So I just had to say the obviously revenge spot, but they have to move that line because of their starting point guard and backup point guard as well. Rashawn Holmes may come back in this one, so could possibly get a better number on the Spurs. I'm not looking towards taking the Kings. It's a tough game for me. I would lean Spurs, but it's not some I'm super strong on. Actually, that under could possibly be a look as well. Man, 227.5. They actually don't run a ton of fast pace without De'Aaron Fox out there. Obviously, you missed some defense with Davion Mitchell, but that under could possibly be a look in that one. The Spurs will play some defense. They don't shoot a ton of threes as well. They're actually they shoot the least amount of threes in the league, but they are highly efficient with getting their points in the paint. So we'll see what's up. Rashawn Holmes in this one, I'll probably be looking towards the under just to give him a little bit of defensive paint presence in that one. Let's go to the streets of Philly. Good God, man. It's fucking Sixers, man. I don't want to talk about either one of these teams, to be honest with you, Shark. Fuck this game, bro.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say. I mean, Philly did blow them out in the season opener in New Orleans on a really short line, actually. They were only laying 3.5 and just cleaned them up, which I think is actually a snapshot to really early season basketball where the lines don't really tell you anything. It's just an arbitrary dispersion of nonsense. So now you do get a revenge game for the Pelicans. And we've said this. The Pelicans have traveled reasonably well, although mostly within the West. We don't really have a lot of good corollary points here coming towards the East. And of course, as you said, Philly's been an absolute disaster. They got COVID, they got injuries, they got roster sketchiness. I mean, it started in the offseason with Ben Simmons. It's continued the whole thing. This should be a top 3 team in the league or in the East, and they are hovering outside of the playoffs basically right now. They're going to turn it up at some point. We're going to make money cashing tickets with them at some point over this 82-game calendar, but it's not right now. This is a razor-sharp number at -6. I think you're dead out flipping a coin here.
I'm glad you said that. This not right now with the Sixers, and they got the Celtics on deck as well. Obviously on a little losing streak, but the Celtics on deck tomorrow. Do we get Embiid? Do we get Maxey? What are we doing here? Don't bet this game right now. If you are going to bet it, I'd say wait till the last minute. They could definitely rest him, and they're going up against a Western Conference foe. It just doesn't mean as much. They could possibly be looking ahead to Boston tomorrow, so don't care about this game. Pelicans actually been playing a little bit better lately, but we'll see what happens in this one. Let's go to the streets of Atlanta here, my guys. This is going to be a tough game today. A lot of people are taking the Cavs right now. Inside info right before the show, they got 5 guys that just hit COVID protocols. Actually, the game could possibly even get canceled because right now they only have 8 healthy players. So if one more guy is out, you need at least 8 players to play the game. Obviously, they could call someone up from a G League, but Trae Young is out, guys. He is out. I think that the public is the bloodbath today. I think the Hawks still get this win. We don't even know who the 5 players are yet as well. If one of those is Allen, one of those is Garland, this is going to be a tough ass for the Cavs. And you're coming from Milwaukee down to Atlanta. It's already a tough travel spot, period. They're already missing Okoro. They're missing Mobley as well. It's Hawks or nothing for me in this one, Shark. Actually, I'll probably, seeing the injuries, I'll probably be on the Hawks here. What you like in this one? And I'm only betting on teams that have the rest advantage right now. Hawks definitely more rested. They're at the house. They've been lackluster at the house. Shark, what are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. This game it could get canceled. And essentially that's where we should be going with this in terms of betting it. You should cancel betting this game because ultimately when you have principal players out for both teams, it's really difficult. I mean, the line already moved heavily towards the Cavs. It was at +4 and at -2. It's probably going to move back now. I didn't see it.
I think it's back to 3.5 for the Cavs. They probably got this game off the board. No, it's back to 3.5 for the Hawks now. So that's very telling.
It's just all over the place. Like you never see line gaps like this from a 6-point move and then back 5.5 within 20 minutes. I mean, it's literally not professional basketball. It's like you're capping sketchiness of rosters, not the actual sport.
Mm-hmm.
There's just nothing to say here. Really, there's nothing. You should not be putting money on this game, period.
Can anyone explain this protocol stuff? These guys actually don't have COVID, right? I don't know. I think a lot of it is contract tracing. You shouldn't be doing contract tracing if guys are vaccinated. Supposedly, most of these guys are vaccinated. Don't get me started on this shit, guys. Do not get me started. Let's go to the next game, man. I like the Hawks in that one. Let's get to the next game. We got the Nuggets versus the Nets. Extremely high line. The thing I worry about the Nuggets here is Nuggets or nothing. Obviously, they have the rest advantage. Obviously, the Nets have a ton of players in COVID protocols, important players. The Nuggets, these are the type of games they don't take serious. I can't stand it. Obviously, if the Magic be able to get a win by the Nets, then the Nuggets should. But their motivation is so sketchy. And then you see Aaron Gordon questionable with a hamstring. They're going to choose to rest some guys in this game. The line's pretty high. It's still Nuggets or nothing, but probably try to find the under spot here, Short.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. Where's the motivation coming in this game? You're playing against, fringe backup players, and we don't really know who's going to be playing in this game. I think it's going to be a similar roster to yesterday. Obviously, Brooklyn didn't lose yesterday to Orlando. One point on this I do want to make. If you go back to yesterday, we've been talking about Sirac on ice for years now. This doesn't apply to COVID shit. Every team that didn't have their players yesterday didn't cover. So as much as we always kind of joke about like square-minded capping, like the obvious stuff, it does seem right now teams that don't have their players are not going to be covering games. And that being said, Denver at -9, big figure. But again, if Brooklyn doesn't have top players, I don't know.
It's Nuggets or nothing for me in that one, and I'm actually leaning towards the under in that one. So I knew somebody said Gordon looked like he might play. Gordon is questionable. He just got listed questionable before this game with a hamstring. If you ever see a player with a hamstring on the injury list, just go ahead and assume that they're out. They could play, but hamstring, something like that, Achilles, go ahead and assume that they're out. They're not going to mess around with this shit. It could be a fake injury, but that's a whole nother story. Let's go to the streets of Minnesota here, Shark. We got the Mavs versus the Timberwolves. Timberwolves coming off a hot game. Cat turned up on ESPN. Now, I was kind of worrying that they could possibly have a letdown here, but they got to turn up, man. They got to win games at the house. They don't have Anthony Edwards. Wouldn't be surprised if they didn't, if they had to let down, but I do like the Timberwolves here. They're hot 3-0 straight up. ATS, they had just come off a losing streak of 5 straight before, and then they're due to come up. This is a little home and home as well. I can see the Timberwolves getting this one at the crib, then the Mavs getting the next one. We got a ton of injuries. Don't have Frank Ntilikina off the bench. We don't have Reggie Bullock in this one. So we're missing some guys here. Prop-wise, I'd be looking at Porzingis. I think Porzingis props, points and rebounds can get there. Points and rebounds can get there, even with the Mavs taking a loss here, Shark. I'm leaning Timmy's. What you like it?
Official play, Minnesota -3. You said it. Look at Minnesota's calendar. Go back through this. They started off this cluster of games 1-7 ATS over 8. Then they went 6-0 the next 6, mostly at home when they got D'Angelo Russell back. Then he got hurt again, and they went 1-7 in the next 8. Now they're 3-0 last 3, so they're reclustering the other direction. This team is purely ice cold or scorching hot. I think they're about to get scorching hot again. If you go back to last year, the line functionality between these teams has mattered. Dallas did not cover home -9.5, came back on the road at 8. Again, it should have come down to 6.5, and they blew them out. Then the final game of the year, it came down to Dallas -3. Dallas, of course, was already in the playoffs. Minnesota had a lot more to show out for. Anthony Edwards went off, and Minnesota hammered them, I believe, 136-115. But now the line comes even further towards Minnesota, and I think it really correlates to how Minnesota played against San Antonio and Memphis at home in the previous Heat cluster at home. 2 absolute blowouts against Southwest teams who are similarly graded on a line to this environment tonight. I think this really connects with basically everything that we're looking at for Minnesota. You should be buying Minnesota in this environment, and you should expect them to cluster another 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 games in a row here.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I like the Timmys. I like to say, I didn't the inside info on my own squad. We're missing our best defenders out there. They do have some defenders to throw at Cat, but as far as D'Angelo Russell, I mean, he's gonna have Brunson. Other than that, like they be putting Frank Ntilikina on him. I'm telling you this for sure off the bench. So they're missing some bench defense here. Bullock as well, whether he's starting or coming off the bench. We're missing some defense. So already not a great defensive squad, man. So I'm worried about my team today. It's Timberwolves or none for me in this one. I'll probably end up on them. I only wait till the last second to make my plays these days, guys. So why? You just see Andre Drummond and Shake Milton come up in health and safety protocols. It has to be up to 70 guys in health and safety protocol. What the fuck are we doing? Build the bubble back. What are we doing? Bubble the Are they fixing it for the Lakers again? All right. I ain't gonna start today. We're going to the streets of Phoenix here, Shark. Going to the streets of Phoenix. I think it's going to be a Buzz City type of day. I like to see Booker back. I'd like to see Booker back. Take that line up to 8.5. Everybody hop on the Suns. The Hornets have the offense they can keep to stay in this game. It's offense versus defense in this one, my guys. And another thing, the Hornets are an East Coast team, but they get a little bit of help today. This game is at 8 o'clock Eastern, not at the super late. They've been on the West Coast for a while. They're coming off a loss. I think the Hornets cover this game, man. Hadn't taken it yet. Like I said, I want to see Booker get in there, throw off the lineups. He'll probably be rusty. He's a damn good player. You got Oubre coming back to Phoenix. Look at the squad. This Hornets team can they can score. They got a few defenders on there. I think they can. I think they're a live dog tonight. I'm leaning the Hornets right now, Short.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't talk you off. And one comment on that, I think if the Hornets are going to cover this game, it's going to be also in the first half. They've been flip-flopping awful first halves. And
my guy, Shark. Don't say, I hope they cover the first half and the full game, Shark. He'll be back in here 1 sec. You back, Shark?
Yeah, we back in there?
Hey, that means we're going to cash. Talking about on these plays that they try to fuck them up with, man. It's cool. It's the internet people. What's up, Shark? 1 second, my guys. We be back. Hit them Wizards live. Well, don't do it. My guy says don't do it. Oh, I love it. We got one in the chat. What we doing, Shark?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, apologies. Yeah, I think if they come out and to cover this game, it will be in the first half as well. And on that, I'm taking the over at 230.5 official. What you're looking at here last year, again, even though this is out of conference, there's not a lot of matchups. It does seem to matter. Last year in Phoenix, 125-121 at 246 on a 225 way over. And then it came down to 219 on the road, and it was 101-97 in overtime. Completely different game flow. And I said to myself last night before the totals had come out, if this comes back up to 225 minimum, I'm taking the over. I was actually very pleased to see 230.5. It's showing immense strength. And Phoenix has not gone over very much at home or across the grid this year at all. But I do bring you back to a couple of their overs against Washington last game, and go back early season, a home sequence. They went over against the Rockets, who are very well correlated to Charlotte. Charlotte has the number 1 pace in the league, I believe, and Houston has number 2 pace in the league, or something in that range. A very similar type of team. That was 123-111. And then the very next night, a very similar opponent again, Hawks, same division, same demographic, 121-117 over. I think you're looking at a really high-paced game here, and I think this is what happens when Charlotte goes on the road. They did come out with an absolute dud effort at Dallas. Now they've gone over 2 in a row. Their last elongated road trip against the Pacific, they came out with a dud at Golden State and then went 3-0 against the over the next 3 games. I think it's just what they do. They run, they shoot well, they have the top 3-point percentage in the league, I believe, which is something people probably wouldn't have expected. I think this game will be wide open. I think you're looking at a game that finishes over 236 to 240 here.
And you know what? That correlates with the Hornets, my guy. I'm loving it. Like that over. If this game goes under, the Hornets will not cover. It's pretty much. I can't say that guaranteed, but I think with it being a fast-paced game, that this is offense versus defense, Shark. I think the fact that we even have a total of 230 tells us that the Hornets will come out well here. Simple. You don't see the Suns having totals of 230. Simple. Their defense is too damn good. So I think the books are telling you they know that this will be a wide open type of game. The Hornets are 5-0 against the spread last 5, following a straight up loss. They're 4-1 against the spread last 5, playing in Phoenix as well. And that one loss against the spread, they were a +4. They lost by 5. So to me, they're basically 5-0 against the spread last 5 in Phoenix. I like this spot for them, guys. You can wait on Booker. Me personally, I'm waiting to the last second. I want to see Booker in there. I want to see him throw everything off. He practicing full all that. Probably come in a little rusty, throw off the rotations. I like the matchups for the Hornets here. They can score with the best of them. Obviously, they got to come in here and play a little bit of defense, though. But Hornets, I like it, my guys. Last game up, Shark. We got what are we doing? We got the Lakers versus the Bulls, man. Caruso revenge game. It's simple here, Shark. It's pretty simple. You don't lay points with a team that's coming back off of 10 days off. They got their first practice in yesterday, guys. Simple. These guys had been practicing, probably maybe working out at the house. No real camaraderie right now. They got Zach LaVine set out the lineup. I can't tell you what to do with their money, but I would not feel comfortable laying 6 points with the Bulls, Shark, coming off that little layoff there. It's Lakers or nothing. It's always tough. They just lost their coach to health and safety protocols. Could be a good thing for them, Shark.
Yeah, no, you said it. Teams that are out for over a week here, and with players coming back, of course, DeRozan and Kobe White and Javonte Green coming back, it's all over the grid. The line is pretty sharp, though, just based on normal standard things that I look at. It was -2 for Chicago in LA. They blew them out. You get a Lakers revenge game. It came in at 4.5. So that is a hook worth of strength to the Lakers. And I do think just in general, the Lakers would be the lean here because that hook has seemed to matter.
My guy, talking about the line functionality, I know, man. I can't tell you this for sure. This line would be a lot shorter if Anthony Davis was coming back to Chicago, to his hometown, to ball out. So obviously, it's even worse. Like, I feel like that's even a sharper line because they have to put that Anthony Davis in there. If he's in here, Lakers, I ain't gonna say they'd be favored, but it'd probably be at -2 again. It opened up at 5. I think it's I'm not on I can't stand the Lakers, but I do think this is a little bit disrespectful to them, especially these guys coming off of COVID. Even before they were practicing, they were out. So these guys are out of sorts. If you ask me, probably not in shape. Me personally, I think the Lakers win this game. That's just me though. But Sharp, what were you saying before you cut out?
Just that 2 to 4.5 is razor sharp. But again, it should be 5.5. It is actually shading just enough towards the Lakers. And I do think it correlates to what you just said. I mean, the Bulls haven't played a game in over a week. Guys coming in and out of the lineup, a couple guys coming back. It's going to be all over the place. But again, without AD now, the Lakers are also in roster turmoil as well. We said this all the time. Lakers are one of the hardest teams to back in the entire sport. I said it yesterday on Twitter. I think they're kind of having like a friends and family tour here. It's just the guys that he always wanted to play with. They're hanging out. You know, they're 16 and 14 on the campaign. They cover when they want to. They don't. This and that. I don't think we're going to really get an effort from the Lakers until at least the middle of January. And frankly, I don't know if we're ever going to get an effort from the Lakers this year. I think they have a certain amount of awareness to where they are in the season in terms of the league. I think that ultimately the Lakers know in the back of their mind they're probably not going to beat the Dubs and the Suns in the playoffs, and they're just kind of hanging out. I think LeBron's in bed with Hollywood. He wants to produce movies. He wants to play with Bronny James in 3 years. That's it. And I think backing the Lakers at any point in this season is going to be tough because I just think they don't care, really.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. It's a good point. It's definitely something to watch for. There will be games that they'll turn up, my guys. Simply put, in this game, I'd be looking towards fading the Bulls. It's basically whoever they're facing here coming back this first game. Simple. Unfortunate it happens to be the Lakers. Unfortunate they don't have Anthony Davis to come back at home in Chicago and ball out. But I still think that just they're more in basketball shape right now. They're more in, you know what I'm saying? I think that they'll win this game. It's simple. Like, I don't even know if I'll bet it. That's what Shark's saying. I don't know if I can have the confidence to bet the Lakers, but just knowing basketball, seeing this happen before, teams off for a while. Some of these guys been off for 2 weeks. Like DeRozan, they weren't even playing right before the break, my guys. So I'm not laying points with the team coming off the break that hadn't even played basketball in basically 2 weeks. Lean Lakers, I don't know what I'm going to do, man. It may be a personal bet. But Shark, break them off the officials before we get out of here, my guy. Anything you want to say, hey, motivation-wise, whatever you want to say to the people, my guy.
Well, I do want to say we're trying to get this internet fixed. I'm not sure if it's StreamYard or not, and we're trying to get it right because, this pisses me off just as much as it pisses everybody else off because I hate talking and getting cut off, so it's ridiculous. But in terms of positive vibes, beautiful, beautiful day. It's a beautiful Sunday. I hope everybody's enjoying it, dominating it, taking control of their life. Get that workout in. It'll make you feel a hell of a lot better. You won't be dependent on the periphery for happiness. We don't need to buy things to be happy. We need to get fit in our mind and our body to feel happy right where we are right now. 4 plays. We're going the over Charlotte. 230.5 track meet should ensue here with authority. Spurs, the buy hat is fully engaged here on the road, -4. Minnesota -3, and Portland +5.5. I think we get the win there tonight in a lot of points that were mentioned before in the beginning of the show. Thank you guys for listening. A beautiful Sunday is engaged. J Money's Money. A pleasure as always. Close them out.
Love. It's all love, my guy. That's my guy, man. Go and follow him on Twitter at Sharks and Sports. Let's get some cash today, man. I think that Blazers could possibly get the win too. I'd love to see that, man. Heavy lean to Blazers, Spurs, Hawks, Nuggets, Timberwolves, Hornets, Lakers for me, my guys. We're just here to try to help some people get some cash. We love you guys, man. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you missed the intro, go back and check it out, man. We might have to do the intro one more time. Shark, what you want to do the intro to close out the show?
Yeah, why not? Let me get the music going.
Let's do it, man. Shit, hey. All right, my guys. We appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. NBA Sunday, Shark and Jay show, man. Let's get some cash, my guys. We out.